welcome to our home. We're glad you're joining us. My name is Diana Hooverman.
And I'm Pete Hooverman, and we are the owners of Three Oaks Vineyard. Our real ambition here is to share this property with as many people as we can because we feel it's beautiful. We feel like we're blessed to live here. So we hope other people can share it with us.
When we first moved here, it was a beautiful meadow out there that Pete was working on, and we took a look and said, wow, this would be a great vineyard.
All the work and everything, it's well worth it because when the people come, they appreciate it. The most fun of all this is the customers.
As Pete said, our desire is to share this place. We ask a few people to share something about themselves and their experience here at Three Oaks. Please sit back, enjoy a glass of wine, enjoy their stories, and see if you can guess the answers to a few trivia questions along the way. Okay, so let's start with the first trivia question. Hopefully Pete can answer this one. What year were we married?
Hi, my name's Bill Page. That's Mary Fitch over there on the recording device, and I've been asked to say a few words about Three Oaks Vineyard. It's located just north of Granville, Ohio. Pete and Diana Hooverman have created this wonderful vineyard and gathering place that they call Three Oaks Vineyard. It's where they make great wine from Ohio-grown grapes. Pete and Diane are consummate hosts, and they've built a warm, inviting place for old friends or new friends to get together and enjoy some wine, some music, some fellowship in a truly beautiful setting. Mary and I have met some fine people at Three Oaks. Some of them we consider to be friends for life. Oh, did I mention the wine? There's so many choices. They got red and white, pink. They're all outstanding, but my favorite is St. Croix. Mary likes Marquette. And on a personal note, as you may have noticed, I play a little guitar and sing. I retired from my 9-to-5 job in Nashville in 2013. I was looking for something to do in my retirement, so I got together with some of my musician friends, and they taught me some stuff and learned a few songs. When I came to Ohio and I met Pete and Diana, they booked me to play at Three Oaks. One thing led to another. I met some fine folks, among them Steve Matheny at the Chamber of Commerce in Granville, and he's been very helpful. And I got around and met some folks, and now I'm playing all over Columbus and Granville. So it just goes to show you, come out to Three Oaks. You never know what might happen.
Hi, my name is Steve, and I'm happy to share some thoughts and some feelings and observations about Three Oaks Vineyard here in Granville. First off, my wife Chris and I are lucky because we live nearby. We're not close enough to walk over, but we're just a hop, skip, and a jump away, and we find ourselves among and with Pete and Diana and the growing crowd of regulars, and we're proud of it. Many of you may recall the popular TV show back in the 1980s called Cheers. When I think of Cheers, I think of Three Oaks, and I'll tell you why. The lyrics from the theme song for that show go something like this. Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you want to go someplace where everybody knows your name and they're always glad you came. To me, that captures the spirit of Three Oaks. It's just such a place. On the TV show, everybody would shout out Norm's name as soon as he crossed the threshold of the bar. And at Three Oaks, they shout out Chris and Steve when we arrive, and everyone, even first-timers and regulars alike, are greeted warmly and verbally embraced upon arrival. It's a rare and a special feeling, and it feels like family. No place else I know feels quite so welcoming and comfortable. Diana and Pete are naturally very proud of their locally grown and produced wines, and deservedly so. Chris and I tend to favor their Cab Franc, but you can't go wrong whichever one you choose. And the scenery and the setting are beautiful and relaxing, but when it comes right down to it, they are perhaps most proud of the spirit and soul of this special place that they established and the people who gather there to share it. So enjoy this virtual visit now, but make a plan as soon as you can to come out and experience it for yourself. You'll be glad you did, and us regulars will look forward to meeting you. See you soon. Take care.
Back to trivia with the answer to trivia question 1, 1975. Our next trivia question, where did we live when we met? See if you can guess.
My name is Mark Anthony Arsenio, and I'm a food and environmental anthropologist. I'm also a PhD candidate in the Department of Anthropology at The Ohio State University, and I'm completing my dissertation on winegrowers' perspectives and responses to perceptions of environmental change, and how that may influence their conceptions of the taste of place. Since February of 2018, I've been fortunate to work with Central Ohio winegrowers, including Pete and Diana of Three Oaks Winery in Granville, Ohio. Important to my approach is the method of conducting participant observations. I aim to gain hands-on experiences, which in this case included nearly every step of the wine-growing process, feeling the crunch of fresh snowfall beneath my feet as we pruned, or the dry patches when it came to digging holes for new plants, or even hearing the sounds of damp soils from Central Ohio's recent downpours as we harvested. My visits to Three Oaks allow me to experience a taste of the wine-growing life that I would have missed if I had limited myself to email exchanges or only conducting interviews. I've also been fortunate to gain some experience with the more technical side of wine-growing, from conducting titrations in Diana's lab, to learning how to use the spectrometer to determine when grapes are ready to be picked, and to crushing grapes with a hand crank with Pete. I've aimed to get as close to their experiences as I could, as someone who does not own his own vineyard or produce his own wine. Central to my research is the French notion of the goût de terroir, or what's more often translated in English as the taste of place. Despite terroir not typically being commonplace in Central Ohio, the quest of forming an identity of the vineyard as well as of the winegrowers themselves is certainly a common theme I've picked up in my work. And my continued experiences visiting Three Oaks and Pete and Diana definitely speak to that. I've been fortunate to not only taste the wines that Pete and Diana have produced, but I've been able to witness the evolution, if only over a short 2-year period, of the place, the setting itself they're aiming to produce through Three Oaks. This is especially clear through the plants they choose to plant as a result of different weather events, and the recent completion of the event space that Pete built by hand. Beyond the physical structures and great tasting wines, I've come to really appreciate the place that is Three Oaks. I've enjoyed getting to know Pete and Diana and being around their dog Bodie, discovering the unique pineapple flavors that come through in Three Oaks' Brianna wine, and definitely one of my favorite highlights, getting to meet the very Peggy who inspired the 100% Catawba wine, otherwise known as Peggy's Pink. These personal experiences, combined with knowing of the community that supports Pete and Diana, inclusive of local artists and artwork that find their way into the wine labels, truly emphasize a relational experience centered around constructing the taste of place through the interactions of integrated social and environmental worlds. I remain incredibly thankful to Pete and Diana for their ongoing support of my research, and wish them and all the other Central Ohio winegrowers all the best as we navigate another wine cycle.
At Three Oaks Vineyard, our original desire was to craft all of our wine from grapes grown in our own vineyard. As we continued to make wine and grow, we found it necessary to go outside to get grapes. When we first ventured out, we met Jeannie Oakes at McKee Farm and Vineyard and quickly became friends. I'm going to turn it over to Jeannie to tell you a little about her vineyard.
Hi, Jeannie Oakes here at McKee Farm and Vineyard. I grow 6 varieties on 4 acres in East Central Ohio. That's La Crescent, Marquette, Foch, St. Croix, and the 2 vinifera, Regent, and Cab Franc. We mulch the 2 vinifera with chopped corn stalks because there's not enough topsoil to hill up. The best of being a grower, wonderful customers, helpful fellow growers, good vineyard help, and the farm life. The best wishes for a season of good grapes and good wine.
Thanks, Jeannie. Good luck this year. The answer to trivia question 2 is Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. Our next trivia question, how many wine trails are sponsored by Ohio Wines? Next up, hear from our friend Nella, who decided to film her movie here at Three Oaks Vineyard in 2019.
Hi, I'm Nella Satino. I'm chair of the video and film department at the Columbus College of Art and Design. And I've been working with Diane for about a year now for a film that I wanted to do about my father and about Alzheimer's. My father had Alzheimer's when he turned about 85 years old, and we realized that living with that disease is kind of difficult, and I wanted to find a place where I thought was absolutely beautiful and would work for this particular film. I think that Three Oaks Vineyard was gorgeous. As soon as I stepped back into the area where the vineyard is, I thought that it was absolutely amazing to see the variety of grapes and the hills and the forest in the back, the trees in the back. I knew that that was the place that I wanted to shoot this. And not only that, in respect to my father had a way of appreciating good food, good wine, good friends, his family, and I really wanted to capture that with this film. And I could tell that Diana and Peter, once they read the script, they knew exactly what I was trying to do. I think that supporting your local vineyards, your local business people is vitally important. The small business are the people that will continue to make America work. My father as well was a small businessman, and just the way that Peter and Diana handled themselves during the shooting of the film, they gave us a lot of latitude and a lot of opportunity. We ended up using their house as well, and we did bring in an actor from LA, and he loved it there too. He enjoyed the script. He enjoyed his time there. Every once in a while I will hear from him. His name's Richard Reilly from Office Space. Every once in a while I will hear from him, and he'll say what a wonderful time he had, and that when he was on set, it felt like they were actually making a film, that we were actually making a film that meant something. The film is called Of Children and Wine, and when I was younger, I used to love running through the garden and running through the vineyard, and I wanted to capture that in any way I could. I know my father didn't appreciate me running through the vineyard or running through the garden. However, those types of memories for children are valuable, and you hold those special moments close to your heart. Diana and Peter made us feel like family. They opened up their home, they opened up their business, they let us do everything that we wanted to, and they even went out of their way to help us. And we had people coming in and out at all times of the day, and they just adjusted their schedule and accommodated us and helped us find resources in Granville, in that area of Ohio. They directed us towards people that would help us. They did more than expected, which when you're doing a film, believe me, you need as much help as you can get, and you are relying on the kindness of strangers. And at first, Peter and Diana were strangers, but after all this is done, they're more than strangers. They're like family. I feel comfortable to go out to Three Oaks Vineyard, have a glass of wine. I have brought my friend, one of my best friends from college, who's diagnosed with Alzheimer's, out there as well. I just think that the warmness and the friendliness comes through, and it's just an extremely enjoyable place to be. Sitting, watching nature, watching the grapes grow, and just having a nice glass of wine. Sometimes there's a fire, there's a lot of joking, there's a lot of laughter, there's a lot of music, and it's a lot of fun.
If you come out for wine on a Friday, our friend Mary Kerwin typically offers cheese platters and torts for sale. Mary will also prepare food for events in her food truck, Kerwin's Fork in the Road. At Three Oaks, you can reserve our covered tent or pavilion, and Mary would be honored to prepare the food. Here are just a few of the plates she's made. They look gorgeous and taste out of this world. And if you want a special cake, she creates the best ones around for many occasions. Come out sometime and try her special fare. The answer to our third trivia question is 6. There are 6 wine trails. Our final trivia question, Three Oaks Vineyard is located in what county?
Okay, hi, I'm Christine. I'm one of the locals. I live about 3 miles from here, and I hang out here a lot. And we're observing social distance and all that other stuff. Last fall, I was here, one of many times I was here last year during their open season, and they had a fundraiser for the Licking County Humane Society. And it was a beautiful night. Lots of people here, lots of cars and stuff like that. And the pavilion was just open because we have a whole group of people who are, hanging out to raise money for the Humane Society. And I looked out over, because we were down below with the vines in the background and everything's in full greenery and all that other business. I think there'd been some stuff harvested at that point. But it struck me that this would make a beautiful landscape quilt. And one of many things I do, which is playing the harp, and I'm an organic gardener and a dog rescuer, but I've taken up quilting again after years of absence. And I just looked out over the scene at the winery and I thought, oh my goodness, that would just be beautiful. And Diana came over at that point, one of the owners, and I started telling her exactly what I needed a picture of, because there's a particular shape of the horizon and shape of the trees, and there's a particular rise of the hills and the shape of the bushes and the angle of the way the lines of the vines went and everything. So I started pointing out to her what I needed pictures of. And she said, oh, well, I've got that. And I said, and I want to get that birdhouse too. And I'm pointing to a birdhouse that you can barely see. And I want to picture Bodie, the dog. He's got to be in there. He'd be the star of the show. And I mean, I could just see it in front of me, what the quilt would look like, because you have to plan this thing out. So turned out Diana had all those pictures ready already. So she just put them online for me to pick out. I wanted to make a great border on it. And I had seen this border in a book that I had just picked up. It's a very traditional log cabin border, and it has like 7 different colors in it, and it's got all kinds of shapes to it. So I thought that would be really fabulous. So anyway, I started one day just throwing this on. I gathered the fabrics. That takes a long time. And I started throwing them on, and day by day, I sent Diana a picture of what the quilt looked like day 1, day 2, day 3. And I was adding posts for the vines and stuff like this, and started putting it together. And it just came together almost like magic. It was really incredible. So it was like an assembled project, just from pieces that are existed, because obvious winery's already here. The wine's already great. The company's already good. A lot of the people that hang out here are friends. And it's just naturally beautiful. I think God will take credit for that. But Pete's done some marvelous work with stonework and additions to the house and the pavilion itself. And Diana's the winemaker, and and it's very good stuff. For 30 years now, I've been going up to Niagara on the Lake, and 30 years ago when I first went, they had maybe 4 wineries there, and now they probably have 50. I mean, it's a major wine center, but I think the wine here at Three Oaks is every bit as good as the stuff as they make up at Niagara on the Lake with all these years of experience, and much of it coming over from Europe. So I'm proud of this place. I'm proud to know these folks, and I enjoy hanging out here. And the reason why I'm talking about the quilt and not showing it is simply because the quilt is hanging down at the Granville Public Library. I mean, the minute it was finished, I got an offer to hang 4 quilts at the library. And since the winery quilt, which is just called the winery quilt, was the last thing finished, it was hot off the press, it's hanging down in Granville, and the library's accessible a lot less right now, so we couldn't get it for this videotaping. But Diana has a picture, which I think she'll post, but I brought a picture that she took of the winery quilt. You can see Bodie right in the center. So, and anyway, and it's a gift to Pete and Diana, and it's because I'm just so proud of the great job that they've done with the winery and the wine, and with just creating a kind of place that you'd like to come and hang out in and find friends and good company. And that's all. They've done a great job at it, and I'm really proud of them. So.
Thank you, Christine.
Bye.
Hello, Bodie. We would be remiss if we didn't include some footage of the Licking County Humane Society and of Bodie, our precious dog, who was a rescue there. Hi, Bodie. Come here, Bodie. Good dog. Here's Bodie's picture when he was rescued by the Humane Society. We brought him home, and as you can see, he thoroughly enjoyed sleeping in baskets with blankets. He continues to enjoy going for car rides in his special car bed, and his favorite friend, Andrew, who comes to the winery and does paintings. We were so happy with the Licking County Humane Society. We worked with them to create Wags and Wine, a time when we had music by Austin James, photography by Kent Smith Photography, food by Steamroller Bagel, and of course, Humane Society brought dogs. It was truly a fun event, and Bodie continues to be grateful for being rescued and for all the people who come to the winery and see him. The answer to our final trivia question is Licking County. We hope you've enjoyed playing fun trivia today.
We hope you enjoyed your virtual visit with us today.
Please come out and see us when we're open.
Beautiful Ohio, in dreams again I see visions of what used to be, drifting with the current down a moonlit stream, while above the heavens in their glory gleam, while the moon on high sings a lullaby, dreaming of a paradise of love divine, dreaming of a pair of eyes that look in mine. Beautiful Ohio, in Mm.